Sensation. So you said free will is the sensation of making a choice. The sensation is real, but the choice seems illusory. Laws of physics determine the future. So
I had to say that.
you you were compelled. It was determined from the Big Bang. What does physics have to say about free will?
Well, it's not definite because we don't fully know the laws of physics, but the laws of physics that we currently have at our disposal have no opportunity for intercession by human will, right? I mean, we are a collection of particles governed by laws that you can write down and fit on a t-shirt, and those laws don't at any point in the evolution of the particles say, hey, can you, tell me now what to do, person? Mm-hmm. They just determine the future based upon what things were like in the past.
But Brian, can't there be an emergent property of that collection of molecules that we can call free will? Just because the emergent property, if you know emergence, it's a feature of an ensemble that cannot be deduced by the study of the individual.
Like ants.
Like ants. You study one ant, you say, hi ant, you'll shake your hand, you have no idea that 1,000 ants together are going to make an ant mound.
Right.
Or 1,000 termites make a termite mound.
Right.
Or that birds will flock. You have no way to predict
the idea
that.
is that
One ant sounds like Woody Allen.
if free will doesn't exist at the level of physics, in other words, if it doesn't exist at the level of physics, could it not exist at the level of biology or, say, psychology?
That's right. So it's a very good point, and it really depends on what your definition of free will is, right? Normally, the intuitive definition is things could have been different, and I could have made a choice for things to turn out differently. And if that's your definition of free will, does that resonate with your perspective of free will? Then I don't see any way to square that with the laws of physics, because anything that you do is your particles executing some kind of motion, and the motion of your particles in your brain and your body have no opportunity to allow you as a conscious being to direct them. What force could possibly that direction come from? Is it the electromagnetic force? Well, that one we understand from Maxwell. Is it the gravitational force? We understand that one from Einstein. Is it the nuclear forces? Those we understand from the standard model of particle physics. What force could you possibly exert on your particles that goes against or goes beyond those that emerge from the equations of physics? That's the issue.
Could our free will thrive in the probabilistic description of quantum physics?
No. Not as we currently understand it. And that's a natural
Don't
place.
make me fight you here on
Yeah,
stage.
well, we've done this before.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah, I grabbed his lapel on stage once.
But we both were wrestlers in high school. Different weight categories.
Yeah, very
You know,
different.
So it's. I should have said it's possible, but I consider it highly unlikely. So there is a puzzle right now in quantum physics that has been on the table for 50, 75 years, and we don't know the answer to this puzzle. And that's why I have to couch my remarks with a little bit of uncertainty. And that puzzle is this. Quantum theory says that you can only predict the probability of one outcome or another, right? 50% chance electron here, 50% chance there. Yet when we measure the electron, we always find it either here or there, right? One or the other. So how do you go from the fuzzy probabilistic haze of many possibilities to the single definite reality that we all experience in everyday life? We still don't know how to bridge that gap. So within that, if consciousness somehow plays a role in picking out one outcome from the probabilistic haze, then sure, then free will might come for the ride as well.
There you go. You just said probabilistically the particle can be here or there.
Yes.
But if you measure it, it is only in one place.
Yes.
So my act of thought is I want a cheeseburger. That's the particle in this state. And I'm going to say, I want a cheeseburger. Bam! The particle's there.
That's the part I don't buy right there. You see, because
why are you poking your
because it's random. There's nothing that you did to pick one outcome because you wanted it, because you willed it, because it was your desire. And yet your intuition is you had the cheeseburger because you chose it. If it comes from a random process, it's like throwing the dice. And throwing the dice to get an outcome is not what we mean by free will.
Okay, wait. You physicists.
Sorry.
I'm going to give you a neuroscientific perspective.
Oh, good.
Okay. So, from a neuroscientific perspective, first of all, what's happening at the quantum level doesn't really scale up to whether a neuron fires or not, right? I mean, that indeterminacy. But from experiments that we've done, starting in the 80s, Benjamin Libet did studies where he said to somebody, whenever you feel like it, just press this button. And he measured brain activation. And he said, even before they actually press the button, because that takes time to make the movement, just let me know where this little dot is on the clock when you feel the first inkling of the intention of wanting to move. And then what he found is about 350 milliseconds before a person even had that conscious intention, there was a gearing up of brain activation, right? So then we forward to current times, we do neuroimaging experiments where we can say to a person,
Just so people know,
Yeah.
you measure people's brains for a living.
that's my job. That's what I do, yes.
Okay.
I would be no help to you.
It's my unconscious here again. He's always butting in and, we need you. But you can measure it using fMRI, which looks at blood flow to different parts of the brain.
Functional
Magnetic resonance imaging. Basically, looking at blood flow as a proxy to neurons fire. The blood is going to go where the neurons are firing because they need energy. So we can say to you, okay, just choose left or right, or that hamburger or not. And
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger, sorry, this is cheeseburger.
He chose to put cheese on that
We can predict up to 10 seconds before you even have the conscious inclination of your intention which you're going to go, left or right, or cheese or no cheese, right? So at that level, I like to say, yeah, sure, we have free will, but we're just not conscious of it, right? The brain is making these decisions all the time, and we have this illusion of free will. But the question really is why do we have this illusion? Why did we evolve this illusion? Is it important? If we didn't have it, would it change our behavior?
Yeah, I mean, it strikes me that it gives us that sense of control that presumably out in the savannah, 50,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, made the difference between surviving and not. If you're invested in how things turn out and feel that your decisions can affect how things turn out, you're more attentive, you're more engaged. It's something that matters to you more, and presumably something like that or some parallel story like that suggests why we have this illusion.
So you're less likely to be eaten.
Yes, that's the point. That's the point.
Well, so you both agree with one another, with each other, that from physics point of view, it's deterministic. You didn't use that word, but I put it in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's okay on the radio and live show, but
So Heather, so your results are consistent with his, basically.
Yeah. I think from both a physics perspective and a neuroscience perspective, we come to the similar conclusion that it's an illusion, that free will is an illusion, even though we really feel like it's not. And actually studies have been done, which when you tell people that free will is an illusion and you start giving them subsequent tests, they're more likely to cheat on a math test. Mm-hmm. They're more likely to act unethically. So the fact that we have this belief, those who have had it actually are better able to survive in the system along the line.
We're more likely to behave.
We're more likely to behave.
We're in control.
However, we also have evolved for there to be cheaters, right? And they can win. And so if we're all cheaters, no one would win. But if we all...
I just asked Tom Brady.
And Chuck, he looked so deflated at the end of that game. Right? He was sad. Yeah. So, Heather, is there let me ask you a blunter question.
Right.
Does it even matter that you know this, if we all feel like we have free will? I want to believe that I go to school and get a good job and behave, and I want to believe all that.
Well,
you tell me I shouldn't believe it? That if one day I end up in prison, that was predetermined from the Big Bang?
And wait,
You're saying yes to that?
But wait, as an addendum to that,
if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. There's nothing I can do.
So if I kick your ass right now,
that's it.
That was predetermined.
It was meant to be.
From the Big Bang.
It was meant to be, my friend.
I don't know how this got so sexy.
But Just Brian, kicking one's ass is not a literal stick your ass in someone to kick.
Well, I would say,
But wait,
From the hood, it means just winning a fight.
Oh,
But that's
Actually,
predeterminism.
Brian was born and raised in New York City, so went to Stuyvesant High School. So he's homegrown.
Oh, nice.
Homegrown.
But wait, that predeterminism that you were just talking about. Okay, let's say, for instance, that you do accept that, and then that leads to fatalism. Was that also predetermined? So the fact that you were given this information that, well, I'm not really in charge of my own decisions. My brain is making these decisions based upon these neurosynaptic transitions that happen within my mind. And so I just let that happen. And then I say, okay, because of that, I don't give a damn about anything. And I just let it all go. Was that predetermined?
yep.
well,
Well, there you have
but also to put it in perspective.
Well, okay. God, I'm going to shoot myself tonight.
But
But I gotta just let the record show. Chuck put out a really awesome question right there, and it just got a one-word answer. Could have at least stretched out your answer. Give a guy a break. You
No,
know?
happy to. So, often people, when they encounter these ideas, and you must have heard this too, people say, okay, then I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit on my couch, and what does it matter?
Fatalism.
Right? But you see, that's a mixing of two distinct views on one question. You see, if you think that you're making a free choice to sit on your couch, then you feel like, well, now I am going to give in to this, and I'm just going to sit there. But if you do that, it was determined. So exactly what you're asking. If you choose to sit on your couch, it's not that you made a volitional choice. It was set in place. And if that's what was going to happen, that's what's going to happen.
So, but then,
And that's crazy too, man, because, they always say, every time when things, there's no coincidence, when things happen, if it happened, it was meant to be. Like for myself, it was written in the cosmos for me to bring two daughters down here by two different mothers that were plants and bots in my life, in my simulation. And you know how they say, do not commit the same mistake twice. Well, I did that. I actually did I committed the same mistake twice. How's that, D? How's that? Because I had two separate daughters by two different bot females. You know what I'm saying? The females that I had, my daughters by, they ain't conscious. They far from it. They wasn't conscious back then. They damn sure ain't conscious now. Ain't nothing changed about them. You see what I'm saying? I basically outgrew them. You know what I mean? Spiritually on my walk. You know what I'm saying? So it just let me know that it was already written in the cosmos. This was already ordained. I can't unwrite it. I can't go back. Even the Bible tells you that everything is predestinated and everything. So because I always question this free will crap. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in no free will. I really don't. I believe that everything is already written, and we are all here to find the purpose of why we came here. And if you get off the track of your so-called destiny will find its way to bring you back on track. And if you go back and read the story of Jonah, how God told Jonah to go ahead and what was it? The city of what was it? Nineveh or something. He said, I sent Jonah to go there. Jonah didn't want to do it. Jonah tried to flee from God. And what happened? He jumped on the boat. The storm came. And once the people on the boat realized Jonah brought the storm, they cast lots and stuff. They realized it was Jonah's fault. They cast his behind into the sea, and that's when he got swallowed up by the whale. You know what I'm saying? And he got spit back on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And all that happened just to bring Jonah back to square one, to go back so he can obey God and do what God told him to do in the first place. So we're all on a mission down this joint. So even with this gang stalking, especially with this gang stalking, you may not understand it. It get on your damn nerves just to do. You got these bots on your nuts, but at the end of the day, it's all written in the cosmos. You were somehow, I guess we signed some contracts. I don't know what the fuck. I don't remember. But all I know is that, it is what it is. And this is definitely predestinated. This is predestination. Even when you watch the movie Final Destination, you know what I'm saying? When they escape death and they think they got away, but they ain't really get away. Death somehow find their ass later and creep right back up on them and get them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird, yo. This movie Matrix Simulatrix down here is crazy. And I just got implanted just now.
By that particular
Can I get a no there?
measure, all information that we receive then predetermines everything that we do. That's really what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. And moreover, but to just give this a little bit more color, I think your view, Heather's view, and Baba's.
Don't mansplain her view.
Okay, I won't. But what I heard Baba say.
Now let me tell you something, Ryan. Let me tell you something. I'm predetermined to say that.
We spoke about this before, but Baba's description, I think, really at least helps me when I think in those terms, which is it's not that free will is the intuitive one that we're talking about here. Free will really is the fact that we're able to carry out this amazing spectrum of behaviors. We can walk, we can talk, we can sing, we can come up with ideas. The fact that they had an earlier cause, maybe even back at the Big Bang, to me doesn't take anything away from creativity. It doesn't take anything away from originality. It doesn't take anything away from having a sense of authorship over your own actions, because you're the most immediate cause of those actions. They emerge through you, through your particles. Your particles in your brain are configured in such a way that when certain stimuli hit your body, you said and do certain things. Fact that it's determined, who cares?
So there's different views of free will. Okay, there's not just determinism and non-determinism. There's compatibilism,
which is what that is.
Yeah. And compatibilism is saying that the world it is deterministic, but we also have free will within that because of these probabilities. And the other question, getting kind of to what you were saying, is that so then people throw their hands in the air. Okay, if there's no such thing as free will, then I can do whatever I want. I can go murder someone. It doesn't matter. It was predetermined. However, we have also
Chuck.
evolved.
There is a
however.
here.
That's really important. We have evolved the capacity to have self-control as other animals. But in particular, we have the largest percentage of prefrontal cortex than any other species, which is the part of the brain that has that ability to control our innate impulses. So we hold people accountable for their actions to the degree to which they have the capacity to have self-control. Therefore, children are less responsible for their crimes than adults or people who have prefrontal lesions or severe psychiatric illness. So
Because children don't have a fully developed
prefrontal cortex
yet.
until about the age of 25.
And
So
for guys, it's 35.
yeah, it's a little bit, a little bit more.
Tell me what y'all think, man. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. Free will or no free will? All this is predestinated. Everything's already written in the cosmos. Everything's already pre-planned. When you die, you're going to die on the day you're supposed to. Ain't nobody dying. Oh, man. We hear people say this. Oh, man, they left. Man, they punched the wrong clock. You know what I'm saying? His time was cut short. Even when babies die in a house fire or a car crash. You know what I'm saying? You see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Some people come down here for a short time. Some people come down here for a long time. Some people come down here just, whatever, middle age, whatever. But at the end of the day, the real deal is that nobody dies anyway. The body dies, not the energy. You know what I'm saying? So even if you do come down here and live just to be 3 years old and then die, that energy is gonna just reincarnate and come on back. If the mission ain't complete. You see what I'm saying? If the mission ain't complete, if it still have work to do, karma to pay, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? This is all basically speculation. I'm just putting pieces of the puzzle. Life is a puzzle. You got to put it together. You know what I'm saying? So you put these pieces together, it might just be, let's just say that, that child that died at 3 years old, maybe that was the end of that karma. Maybe they was in another life. They died in that life. They had to reincarnate to pay just a little bit more karma debt. And then they checked out at 3 and they ain't gone. And they could evolve and go somewhere else, maybe to a better planet. It all depends on the maturity of the soul, basically. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of y'all, but a lot of y'all other folks, man, y'all gonna be stuck down this bitch because y'all just ignorant and you love it. You love being blue pilled, and you gonna just be reincarnating, come on back down this bitch and be stuck. Holla back, y'all. We out this biatch.